Sorry, y'all. I forgot to put thread on my bobbin, so I was about to tie, and I was like, oh wait, I don't have a bobbin. So I think since tomorrow's Valentine's Day, which honestly I forgot tomorrow was even Valentine's Day, but I think I'm gonna tie a bunch of pink flies, which works out. Pink is a great color for especially saltwater flies. So sorry, I've got to. All right, let's tie some pink flies, y'all. Sorry. I tied earlier today. I didn't even know I was going to tie tonight, and I decided to tie. So. So we're going to use a pink lead eye on here since we're going to do some pink flies. So just doing some cross wraps on here. And now I'm going to do some little side to side like helicopter. My cat's over here like swatting at my shadow that I'm making. I got a cat that's obsessed with shadows. Thank y'all for watching, everybody. Alright, so I got a pink deer tail. That's what I'm gonna use for the tail on the fly. First, I'm gonna wrap it loosely just to get it started. Y'all, a little trick. The thread's trying to come off the bobbin like kind of tight, and I don't want to break a bunch of thread, grab some a little bit of Vaseline, put on your bobbin, y'all. So that's what I'm about to do right now, is put a little Vaseline on here, on the bobbin. It'll make it spin a lot easier, make the thread come off a lot easier. That way you're not popping thread. Coming off so much easier now. All right, gonna throw some pink flashing on here since we're doing some pink flies. Alright. Thank y'all for watching, everybody. All 7 of y'all. Everybody's probably out doing Valentine stuff, I guess, or something. Alright, gonna take some crazy legs. I'm gonna grab 2 of them. That's usually my standard amount that I grab. Two crazy legs. I want the pink to be kind of flopping around. So I'm gonna double it over like this. Lay it on here. Y'all, whenever I tie flies, it gets so hot, man. I got a light right here, and it gets hot. Sitting here tying flies. All right, I bought these. These are like a light pink, kind of whitish saddle hackle. We'll cut off this thick part right here. Put a clip right there. This isn't exactly pink, but it's not exactly orange. It's like a pinkish orange. I use it on my Fraggle Rock fly that I tie, but it's the closest thing I had to pink. Alright, tie that one off. No chats tonight. Got people watching, not even chatting. Usually people are chatting it up. So this is ultraviolet light. I'm just drying this glue real quick. There you go. Just a quick, easy little. Oh, what's up, Shamana? What's up? Was that Rylan? See, I just thought we'd do some pink flies since tomorrow's Valentine's Day or whatever. So, all right. Knock out some more. Start with the Gamakatsu B10S hook. Put a thread base around the eye. Base, shout out Davey 504. This is a large. This is a large lead eye, so I think it's like 1/20th of an ounce or something. So it's a large lead eye. So all I'm doing right here is I'm kind of putting it on. I want the eye to be like pretty close to 90 degrees with the hook. You know, it don't have to be perfect. And then I usually kind of turn it because I also kind of want it straight up and down with the point of the hook, you know. Well, like I said, it don't have to be perfect. And now I'm just making cross wraps going under the hook and over the eye in one direction, then under the hook and over the eye in the opposite direction. I don't have a set amount. Just whenever I do ever how many I think, then I take it and I tighten those down by wrapping above the hook and under the eye, just like this, just doing these little side to side wraps, and that'll kind of tighten those down. And then we'll just go ahead and put a thread base down the hook. And put some glue on here. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe, y'all. I've got over 700 fishing videos. I was going through my YouTube channel just a little while ago. I got over 700 fishing videos on my channel, y'all, and I'm only got like 5,700 subscribers. I should have thousands and thousands of subscribers with that many videos, but I don't, so. Alright. I'm going to take pink deer tail. I'm just going to grab a chunk of it and cut off a chunk of pink deer tail. Lay that on there. Now when I first wrap this, I'm going to wrap this part loosely. Field and fire outdoors. Hey, hey, hey. And then after I wrap it loosely to get it started, I'm going to go back and wrap it tight. If I wrap it tight right from the beginning, it's going to poof those deer hairs out. So I just wrap it loose to start with. And then I go back and wrap it tight. I think just to do something a little bit different on this one, I'm going to add some black stripes on the tail. So let's take a black Sharpie. Add some black stripes on the tail. Like that. Alright, we'll take some pink flashing. Since we're doing some pink flies for Valentine's. I don't need quite that much. Put some pink flashing on here. Just a little pink flashing on there. Alright. Now grabbing my little crazy legs right here. I'm going to get 2 of these. My phone's beeping, y'all. I'm just getting emails and all that. Double these over. Actually, we could just do it like this right here. This is a great way to do them so it secures them on there. And go ahead and cut that off. All right. Now I'm gonna take a pink saddle hackle. I'm gonna cut off this thick part. We'll make a few of these and I'll change it up to something else. I know people get tired of seeing the same fly, and I get tired of tying the same fly over and over. Thank you, Rylan. Thank you, thank you. Those of you who don't know, I'm a fishing guide down here in Louisiana. So I don't just tie flies. I take people out fishing. I've got over 700 videos on my channel, y'all, so please subscribe. Most of it's fishing videos. What time am I live till? Oh, when, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I guess until I get tired, you know. Let me turn my phone down, y'all. It keeps beeping with emails. There we go. Phone keeps beeping with emails. All right, taking some crack wrap. Put some crack wrap on here. How am I doing? I'm doing good, man. You know, I tied earlier today, which I know you know. I tied for just a little while earlier. And then I decided, you know, I went and rode my, I got a mountain bike. I went and rode my bike for like 5 miles. I have to drive about 30 minutes to get to the trail. And then ride like 5 miles and then drive about 30 minutes to get back home. on the younger side of ages. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I wish I was young. Whoops. Sorry, y'all. I hit the. I actually use a cardboard box to set my camera on right here because it's like the perfect little height for my camera. So I accidentally bumped that box. Alright, y'all, knocked out another little pink fly. We use these pink flies a lot down here. I don't really know what it's supposed to look like, but the redfish love them. So I'll probably tie a couple more of these. I know this is probably, you might be bored of watching me tie the same thing, but once I get a bunch of supplies out, you know, I don't want to be changing supplies out every fly. So I'll probably tie a couple more of those, and I'll tie some other stuff. Alright, a large lead eye. This is pink. It's about 1/20th of an ounce or something like that. Oh, thank you, Owen. There's people out there that tie flies way better than me, man. I just tie saltwater flies. You know, that's what I guide for. And saltwater flies are pretty easy to tie, so you know, like those trout flies get all intricate and trying to match the hatch and look exactly like a certain fly or whatever. And saltwater fish are just way more aggressive, and they'll eat just about anything. So you know, I'm not tying like anything super crazy. But thank you, though. Oh, thank you, Owen. All right, y'all. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe. I've got like probably 700 fishing videos on my channel. And something like 89% or something like that of the people that watch my videos are not even subscribed. So if y'all would subscribe, that'd be great. All right, pink deer tail. Just going to grab a chunk of pink deer tail right here. Well, I've got 739. I knew it was somewhere around there, man. I do videos constantly, and it'd be sweet to actually make some money one day. All right. So I'm going to start off wrapping this kind of loose. Just to get started on the hook. And I'll go back and wrap it tight. Black magic marker. Oh, 736. Well, I'll have 737 after tonight's. Alright, taking a black Sharpie, and I'm just going to put some black stripes on the tail. Grabbing some pink flashing. I might tie some big old offshore flies after we get done with this, y'all. I'm so ready for it to to get hot and stay hot, where I can go do some offshore fly fishing. You know, for like big jack crevalle and cobia and all that cool stuff. Go out by the oil rigs and sling big old flies for big old fish. Alright. There was a really good tuna bite going on down here in Louisiana, close in, you know, like 5 or 6 miles out. And so a couple weeks ago, the tuna were going crazy out there. But every time I want to go, or if I had a chance to go, like if I had a calm day, I was usually running a charter, so like a redfish charter, so I couldn't go offshore. And then the rest of the time it was rough. You know, I don't want to go offshore trying to fly fish when it's rough water. So I have yet to catch a tuna on a fly rod, but I want to though. Yeah, oh, and I don't think any YouTubers are going to be giving out their phone numbers, man. Too much crazy out there in the world today, so I don't think people are going to be doing that. All right. Okay. Crack wrap. Boy, not a lot of people watch us tonight. 5 people. It's crazy. I've actually had like thousands of people watch, but I guess everybody's out doing something. Oh, Ties Flies is live also. Yeah, I need to maybe contact him and try to do like a collaboration or something. His flies are way more technical than mine are. Like he ties just some crazy looking, awesome looking stuff, you know. All right, I think we'll change it up and tie some big old offshore flies. I might have to grab my other vise if I can remember where it's at. I don't know if this vise will fit my offshore hooks or not. My other vise I think will barely fit an offshore hook. I can't remember where it's at. Oh, my other vise is over there. I might have to grab it. Might do some offshore flies. Alright. I'll show y'all what I do. So, there's a fly fishing festival coming up in May. And I'm getting ready for the fly. I'm going to sell a bunch of flies there. So, I got like a bunch of little individual boxes. And this is also if you order flies from me. This is how they'll come. But I just take them and put them in a little individual box. I just kind of bend over the material. Always you have to kind of put it in there and twist it to get it to stay. It's kind of a pain sometimes, like my deer tail's trying to poke out. But I've probably already got I don't know, I probably got, I'm guessing close to 100 flies tied for the show, maybe. I don't know, I got a bunch. And I'm just, so when I tie all these flies, unless I need them for my fly fishing charters, I've been basically getting them ready to sell. I do have some stashed away from my charters though, because some stuff that I run low on. A lot of times, you know, we go out with my clients and they'll catch, you know, a big 20-something pound redfish or something, and they'll want to keep the fly. I'll be like, can I keep the fly? So I usually let them keep the fly if they catch a big old fish on it. So then I gotta tie new ones. So alright, I'm putting these up. I'm gonna grab some stuff out, and we're gonna probably try to tie some big offshore flies. So let me put this little bit of stuff up real quick. And I'm going to tie some offshore flies. Just getting ready for the hot months. When it starts getting hot, I'll be going offshore, doing offshore fly fishing. Go out by the oil rigs and do all that. Just put some stuff up, y'all, and I'm gonna tie some offshore flies. Yo, I got so much fly tying stuff. It's ridiculous. Alright. Gonna get out some big guns right here, y'all. These are big 7/0 big 7/0 stainless steel offshore hooks. We're gonna do some big offshore flies, y'all. I've actually still got my bobbin done from earlier today. Alright, y'all. About to tie some offshore flies. I'm just straightening it up. Let me check this vise. I don't even think this vise will fit one of these hooks. I'm probably going to have to grab my other vise. I don't think this one will even fit them. Nah, it won't. Alright, let me grab my other vise. I think the other vise like barely fits these offshore hooks. I think this vise barely fits these hooks, like barely. And not even good. I mean, just barely even fits them on there. We're gonna try it and see. Alright, y'all, grabbing some material. And we'll do some offshore flies. Just grabbing some material, everybody. For some offshore flies here. There we go. Alright, I got that. Alright, y'all getting ready. We're going to do some offshore flies. Did I already grab? Nope. Alright, I think I got enough stuff to start. Sorry, y'all. That's the thing about swapping over from one fly to the next. You know, it takes me a second. This is a giant 7/0 stainless steel hook. It's already pretty heavy. And I normally, this will be, you know, I'll be using like a 12 weight when I'm throwing a 12 weight at a minimum for the offshore, but a 12 weight at a minimum. We'll just tie a bunch of bait fish flies up. Very simple to tie, nothing to it. Almost forgot this. This is a 50-pound, 50-pound test mono. It's just I use it because it's thick, and we're gonna put a loop on the back of the hook right here, and that's gonna hold all our material. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's gonna hold the material above the hook. So I'll just cut off a piece. Alright, so all I did, I put a loop on there so far. And what that's going to do is when I put this other material on there, it's just going to keep the material back in like the shape of a fish. That's all it's going to do. Sorry, I was going to use the same brand. Oh, yeah, Andy's. I just buy it. It don't cost much, and this is 50-pound test. I just buy it because it's thick to use for the material. So what this is crafting for y'all. All I'm doing is trying to find a piece that I want to use here. So what I'm doing, y'all, this is going to be a big offshore fly. This is a 7/0 stainless steel hook. These flies are really the kind I'm tying right here, this bait fish fly. Very simple to tie. We're going to use a lot of different flashing just to give it flash and color. I might add a little bit more white on top of that, and then go with the blue. Alright, start going with the blue. Thank y'all for watching, everybody. Yeah, I can tell views are down tonight. It's 157 views. Sometimes I'll have 157 people watching at one time, so I guess with it being Friday night and Valentine's or whatever. When I get done with this fly, man, I can take out there by the oil rigs and hook into some giant Jack Crevalle and stuff on this thing. Be pretty sweet. Alright, blue. This flashing right here is pretty cheap. You can get this flashing right here like on Amazon or whatever. I can't remember. But if you get on there and look up flashing, this is like a thicker flashing. I know it looks crazy right now, y'all. When I get done, it'll look like a fish. It's just a lot of layering. Oh, I got you, Owen. Thank you, man. Thank you. Trying to think if I want to add just something, try something different. I might go with a feather down each side of it. Might go down with a feather down each side of it. Possibly. If I can find a feather I like. Some of these feathers, man, just do not look good. There's a good feather right there. I found one. This one might be okay. Yeah, let's do that. If y'all are just joining in, just doing some I started out tying some redfish flies, but I've been wanting to do offshore so much lately, man, that even though it's not quite time, I decided to tie some offshore flies. Ooh-wee. In my first few months of fly tying, I didn't know about the bobbin, so I spent around 10 minutes every time trying to get the thread. Oh, with this thing, the thread getter inner thing. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet so far, y'all. All right, I'm gonna add a little chartreuse right here, and then we'll be almost done. I'm gonna add a little chartreuse, and then we'll put we'll do the thread wrap and put the eyeballs on there, and that'll be about that. This fly right here is going to be a freaking offshore maniac, baby. That fly right there is going to smoke some big old fish offshore. All right. I'm going to put a little chartreuse flashing across the top. Because my fly is going to be out there competing with it's going to be out there competing with all the bait fish and stuff. Oh, what's up, bae? It went alright. It takes about it takes about 30 minutes to drive over there to the trail, and then the trail is just by the time I get done, it's a little over 5 miles long. But it's not like it's not a very technical trail, man. It's Louisiana, so it's really flat ground. It's nothing too challenging. But I go over there for, get some cardio in. I just go over there to get cardio in, man. All right, y'all. I'm about to put like a little thread head on this thing, and then some eyeballs. And that fly right there be ready to go smoke some offshore fish, man. All right. Tie this one off, and then we'll throw some eyeballs on there. Thank you, Owen. Thank you. Such a big hook, it's kind of weird to tie it off. But we're about to add a bunch of glue right here anyway. All right, let's put some eyeballs on there. I got these. Googly eyes, man. Googly eyes. So I'm going to add a googly eye on each side. A googly eye on each side, and now I'm going to add some glue. So what I do, I take the glue, and we're going to fill in the gap between the eyeballs. Yeah, look, I got material hanging off this glue. Pain in the booty. All right, let me hit that with my ultraviolet light to dry this top half. My cat's over here shadow boxing my shadows, y'all. All right. We'll flip it over and do the same thing on the bottom. Hit it with the ultraviolet light. Ooh, I see a little. I missed a little gap right there. top on this. All right. That right there is going to be one bad to the bone offshore fly right there, y'all. So I take that glue and I fill in between the eyes right here, and it makes that solid. So that's dry, and now it's like a solid between the eyes on both sides. And y'all, in case you're wondering, this is not a redfish fly. This is a big 7/0 stainless steel offshore hook. So that's going to be for offshore. You know, Jack Crevalle, cobia, you know, tuna. And that hook is already really, I mean, you know, it's pretty heavy. So, you know, I'm not adding any weight to it because that hook itself is already heavy. So you'll be slinging this with like a 12 weight at a minimum, a 12 weight. So, and those eyes I put on there, y'all, these are actually, you can buy these. I got these at like Hobby Lobby or whatever. They're just crafting eyes, just googly eyes. And that's it. All right, y'all, let's do some more. I'm just ready for freaking hot weather, y'all, so I can go offshore and sling some big flies at some big fish. All right, let's do some more. And we can change the colors up doing these, you know, for offshore. You know, all kinds of colors work. I actually use a lot of pink. A lot of pink. A lot of my offshore stuff I use are like if I'm just fishing big spinning rods, I'll just throw big old pink plastics on the jig head down there. But stuff with like a lot of pink in it or whatever, you know, anything big and flashy that's going to get those big fish's attention, you know, works. So I'll just send a picture of this one right quick to my buddy. He's gonna love this one. I'll send a picture. He fishes both offshore and inshore fly fishing like I do. I'll send a picture of it to him and he'll love it. He'll love that one. All right, here we go. Again, I'm gonna take a actually, before I put this on there, I'm gonna put on this fly, I'm gonna make it a little different. I'm gonna add a little bit of white underbelly to it, just for the heck of it, before I add my loop. That was not quite thick enough. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put my monofilament loop on there. I probably could have done it before I did that, but whatever. All right, y'all. So I put a monofilament loop right here on the back. That's just gonna hold up the material that I'm about to put on the fly. All right. Blue crafting fur. Blue flashing. All right. More blue crafting fur on top of that. You know what? I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add a little streak of red in this one, y'all. Oh, thank you, Master. I'm just doing some offshore flies. Just did this one. Just big offshore flies, big giant 7/0 stainless steel hook. Down here in Louisiana, it'll be like 100 degrees before you know it. So I'm just trying to get ready for some offshore fly fishing. I tie redfish flies all the time, stuff like that. So it's just kind of fun to every once in a while tie something different, do some big offshore flies. Let me see. I think to make it look cool, make it look a little different, I think we'll put a pink feather of all things down the side of it. I think a cool looking pink feather would be pretty sweet. Let's do a pink feather down each side. Like a light pink. How long they last before they need to be changed out? Oh, I've got flies that I've used for years. It really just depends. These are offshore flies that I'm tying. So I mean, they could possibly be destroyed the first time, if it's, but they shouldn't, they should last a pretty long time. Depending on what you get a hold of out there. You don't ever know what you're gonna get offshore, because you go out there around the oil rigs, you got sharks and all that out there, You don't ever know. That's the cool thing about offshore fishing. You don't ever know what you're gonna get. And it's not quite. I mean, you can go out and catch tuna and stuff right now, but they were in kind of close. But I've heard they've kind of moved back out a little ways, but see, that light pink is not too pink, y'all. It's just throwing off that color just a little bit. It's just a really natural looking pink. I still think I'm going to add a little chartreuse to this one. Just because, I mean, if it's, you know, if it's not chartreuse, it's, or, you know, that's what they say. If it's not chartreuse, it's not any use, you know what I mean? So we're going to add some chartreuse on it. Alright, almost done. I'm going to add a little bit of chartreuse crafting fur right here to the front, and then we'll put the eyeballs on there. And be about done. I'm almost out of chartreuse. I'm going to have to go get some more. Try to decide if I want to add a little bit of silver to that. Why not? Offshore fly, it's not going to hurt anything. See you later, Owen. Thank you, man. Alright. Now I'll just put like a little head on this right here, and then we'll put the eyeballs on there. Alright, let's tie this one off. This is probably going to be my last fly, y'all. It's about 10:30. So, probably done after this one. That'll make six flies we've tied tonight. So. Alright, y'all, now we're about to add our eyeballs to it. Eyeballs. going to take some thick glue. And I'm going to put this in between those eyes. I'm going to hit that with an ultraviolet light to dry it. Flip it over, do the same thing. Alright, y'all. Just a big old offshore fly. Just a big bait fish. Big 7/0 stainless steel hook. Big offshore hook. Pretty sweet looking. Sling it out there. Hold on tight. Because if something grabs this offshore, it's not going to be a little fish. I can tell you that. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. That's going to be it for tonight. We tied 4 redfish flies. And then we tied a couple of offshore flies. That's going to be it for tonight, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and see y'all next time.